Matthew 28 and verse 2. We read from the NRSV. And suddenly there was a great earthquake. When the angel of the Lord descended from heaven, came and rolled back the stone and sat on it. You may be seated. For a few minutes, I'd like to talk about killing two birds with one stone. Killing two birds with one stone. While we celebrate Resurrection Sunday morning, knowing the end of the story, knowing what happened when that first resurrection Sunday was not so. We know the details. We know what happened. We know how it went down. We know the story. We know how it concluded. We know it because we read the end of the story. But there was an amazing mystery on that first resurrection Sunday. Because there were two groups going on that resurrection Sunday morning. One group was wondering how they was going to keep the tomb sealed. Another group was wondering how they was going to open the tomb. That's right. One group was hoping he doesn't get up because he's been saying he would get up in 3 days. One group who had heard him say he would get up didn't really believe he would get up. One group didn't believe in him, but they believed in him enough that they made sure the tomb would stay sealed. One group believed, but didn't believe enough in him and in his words. That's why they came to the tomb looking to prepare a dead body. There's two groups on resurrection morning. One group believed that he's still in the tomb. Another group who's supposed to believe that he is in the tomb really does not believe he is still in the tomb. There's two groups going on resurrection Sunday morning. Those who have been plotting and planning, making sure that he dies. And there's another group who's coming to grieve and care for the body of Jesus because they still think he's dead. According to Matthew 28 and 2, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to the tomb, and suddenly there was a great earthquake. When the angel of the Lord descended from heaven and rolled back the stone and sat on it. All I'm trying to tell you this morning is on resurrection morning that God was trying to kill two birds with one stone. You and I have to realize that God can handle whatever we're going through with one move. Why it may take us 20 moves to try to fix it, whatever we're dealing with in life, God has the ability to do it with one stone. What others it takes forever, they have to network to try to make things happen. God says, I can do it with one stone. God can make moves and handle your haters and your supporters. God can make moves that handles your haters and your supporters. God can make one move that would handle your haters and your supporters. God can make one move that handle the people that thought you would stay dead. And he will confirm life in you because people didn't believe in you enough. God has the ability to let the people who thought you were dead see that you ain't dead. The ones who thought you would live but really didn't believe you would live, God can show them as well. God can make one move. One move is all God needs to make a shift in you and I's life. One day is all God needs to make a shift in our life. You don't have to wait 5, 10, 15, 20 years to make things work out. God can do it at the twinkling of an eye. You and I serve a God who can kill two birds with one stone. One meeting is all God needs to change your life. Anybody know that's all God needs? Just one hook up with the Holy. You know, it don't take him a whole lot of time for him to do what he's going to do. All he needs is to make one phone call that can change your life. In the world we live in, there's this process. There's always red tape. There's a 2-year Mueller investigation. God don't need 2 years to fix what he needs to fix up. You got to make sure you got this degree. You got to make sure you got this trade school. You got to make sure you know this person. You got to make sure you got this hookup and that hookup. You got to make sure you can go online and do it like this. But I'm so glad I serve a God that he does not care about the process. can do it. He can make anything happen. You got to make sure that whatever you do, that you know you got a God. You ain't got to worry about making sure your stacks are right. You ain't got to make sure you got it all taken care of. God says if you trust and believe in Him, He'll do what no other man can possibly do in your life. All I'm trying to tell you is God is trying to kill two birds with one stone. While you out there trying to make it happen, God got to do it. He doesn't have to make anything happen. All He has to do is say a word. Anybody know all God has to do is say a word? It says, at His word, light became that. And He put a sun in the sky that has never went out, nor has it ever went to a repair shop. At His word, He made water blue. At His word, He put velocity in oil. At His word, He put whiteness in snow. Anybody know what I'm talking about? At His word, He gave the chicken his cuckoo. At His word, He gave the cow his moo. At His word, He gave the hyena one goat, and He still smiled. At His word, He put the stars in the sky. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Matter of fact, you feel the breath of life in you and I. All God takes is just one move. God don't need a whole bunch of shucking and jiving. He ain't got to make no phone calls. He ain't got to be larger than God. Because God knows who He is. I still believe that God is able to do it all in one move. God on Resurrection Sunday morning kills two birds with one stone. Number one, He dismantled malicious plans. And Matthew 27:65 says it like this. Pilate said to them, you have a guard. You have a guard of soldiers. Go and make it as secure as you can. So they went with the guard and made the tomb secure by sealing the stone. It's amazing. The first group wants to hear Jesus is still dead. And His body is still in the tomb. They put His body in the tomb. It was Joseph put his body in his tomb. And then it was customary for once you put the body in the tomb to put a stone in front of that tomb to make sure that no scavengers would get in and mess with the body. Yeah. But there was also some other malicious plans going on. The church leaders. Yeah, come on, man. The ones who sit up front and know the Bible. The ones who sit in the back and know the Bible. The church leaders. The ones who was in the pulpit. The one who can lead the hymns. The one who knows the Bible from quiver to quiver and cover to cover. The religious leaders, the church leaders, the chief priests. I'm not lying, it's right there in the text. I don't say I'm talking about anybody, but right there in the text it says the chief priests. They went to the government of Rome. It was the religious people in the Roman government that made sure Jesus died. And if we don't stay woke and allow ourselves to follow religious people, we'll end up doing some of the same things that they did. They wanted to kill Jesus. I love it because verse 63 says it like this. Verse 63 says, and he says, sir, we remember what that impostor said. While he was still alive after 3 days, he said, I will rise again. Yeah. They're having a conference call. Yeah. On social media. Making sure they get the word out. Because he said in 3 days he was going to get up again. Verse 66 says, so they went with the guard and made the tomb secure by sealing the stone. 4 to 5 feet in diameter and about a 5-foot tall stone. They sealed it by putting the Roman Empire authority on the seal of the stone. But simply says, if you touch this stone, what happened to this man who's inside this tomb is going to be the same thing that'll happen to you. There are some soldiers there. They put these soldiers in front of the tomb. A team of about 16. Each of them responsible for a 6-foot area of square ground. If one of them fell asleep, all of them suffered the consequences. As a matter of fact, it was Rome's rule that if one fell asleep, all 16 are burnt alive with their clothes on. They got a tomb. They got a stone, a seal, and guards. They got a tomb, a stone, a seal, and guards. They got a tomb, a stone, a seal, and guards. And basically what they're saying is Jesus ain't coming out of this. But what I realize is that a tomb is for dead stuff. And even the grave was frustrated because it realized what was in it still had life in it. You got to realize no matter what situation you're in, you got to realize simply because you're a child of God, you still got life in you. I don't care what enclosure they put you in. You got to know everything can't contain you because simply you're a child of God. There are some people around you who have some malicious plans to make sure your success never happens. They done bought a stone, they sealed it, and they bought some soldiers. But the text says suddenly, an angel came down and rolled away what was trying to make sure it stayed in its place. Have you ever been in a situation that these people tried to make you stay in a situation, but you knew you had that through that particular territory, but they tried their best to keep you hemmed in and locked in? The text says suddenly an angel came down. Anybody ever had a suddenly instance in your life where you didn't know how you were going to meet, you didn't know how he was going to meet, but suddenly, all of a sudden, God opens the door or a phone call comes and the very thing you've been waiting for happens in your life? Anybody ever had a sudden experience? I know some of y'all can't testify because you think you've been rolling on your own. You've been rocking that thing all by yourself. But see, I've always had this thing on God. God has walked me too far. And I know if you walk me this far, you ain't going to turn around and leave me behind. I'm just foolish enough just to believe that no matter what goes on in my life, I serve a God who told me he'll never walk out of here. He'll never leave me here. He'll never turn his back on me. Anybody in the house can serve a God like that? When you don't lose your best, when you don't feel your best, when you ain't had your best, God still loves you. Love this text. Yeah. They sealed it. But the text says suddenly. 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 Don't take no overnight planning. Ain't nobody stayed up off the floor all night. They had no warm milk and cookies to make me feel better. But the text says suddenly. You got to know God has the power to dismantle malicious plan. So every demon, every devil, every spirit, every conniving, trifling person who is coming in your life, you better be careful about messing with a child of God. You better be careful about who you put your hands on. You got to be careful when you're trying to deal with the children of God. Y'all don't believe me? Hey, Daniel. I hear you like to go and pray. Since you like to pray so much, let me see what happened to you when I put you in the lion's den. You better be careful when you mess with the children of God. You got to know that when you mess with God, God always has a way out for you. You can't undo what God has already done. The enemy can't stop the power of God. If God wants somebody to get up, they'll get up. He wants somebody to walk, they'll walk. If he wants to give somebody a breakthrough, he don't need you and our permission to give them that breakthrough. But God's got the power, and if he wants somebody to have a position, guess what? They're going to get the position. And whatever God wants, whatever his will is, it shall come to pass. So stop hate. And while on others, down a call. Do not pass me by. I learned to stop worrying about what God is doing in everybody else's life. And I learned how to say, God, I see you blessing them over there, but don't forget about me over here. Matter of fact, I'm going to celebrate with them, because if I celebrate with them, that means you're in my neighborhood. If you're in my neighborhood, that means I stand a good chance of being blessed. So what we've got to do is stop hating on somebody else and celebrate. And once you celebrate, God is saying, what I've done for us. Number two, he came to fix potential plans. Number two, he came to fix potential plans. Verse 28 and 2, and suddenly there was a great earthquake. An angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone and sat on it. This shouting me because the text says the angel rolled back the stone and sat on it. He rolled back the stone and sat on it. He rolled back the stone, y'all, and sat on it. Sat. That's how y'all country folks in Kansas say it. He sat on it. He rolled back the stone and he sat on it. He didn't just come and roll, just throw it away and leave, but he rolled it away and sat on it. Probably sitting there with his legs crossed. Swinging his legs back and forth as he's sitting on the stone. Now the Bible says in verse 3 and 4 that when the soldiers saw the angels, their countenance was, his countenance was like lightning, his clothes was white as snow, and for fear of him, the guards started shaking and became like dead men. You got to know that God doesn't just show up. That's right. God has the ability to show up and sit on what's been causing you problems. That's all I've been trying to say. That what bothers you and I, God is still sitting down. God says it doesn't disturb me. The thing that's been holding you back, He said, I'll sit on the very thing that has been causing you the most problems. You've got to know that no matter what it looks like right now, you already won the victory. You got to know no matter what hell and high water you go through, you got to know you already won the victory. Don't you realize the only reason why you're still here today is because you already won the victory? You waiting for tomorrow. You waiting for the mailman. You waiting for the first of the month. You waiting for the doctor's report. But you ought to be able to live right now because you know you've already got the victory. It's not in the house of your life. You already won the victory. Don't you understand? You ain't got to wait for the battle is over. You praise God right now. No, don't look good. No, you don't feel good. No, you don't like what the doctor's report says. No, you don't like how your bills are staying. No, but I've got the victory. Here I am. No, you got the victory. I ain't about what you heard. I ain't about what grandma told you. But you got to know. I love it. It says, God sits on the very thing you and I worry about. Isn't it good to know we got a God that does not have to stay up all night and worry? He's sitting on the very thing that's causing us so many problems, which means He's not concerned about what you and I are concerned about to the level we're concerned about, because God says, I already told you no weapon. Did you forget what He said? No weapon formed against you. He says nothing formed against you. No, any lying tongue. He says He will condemn you. You ain't got to worry about it. You already got the victory. I love this text. God already knows how it's going to work out. God is seated through no matter what situation you and I may be going through. God is seated through your sickness. God is seated through your loneliness. God is seated through you losing your job. God is seated through your hurt and pain. Because God is a God of His word. My God said, I shall supply all your needs. Did you forget what He said? Fret not yourself with evildoers, neither be thou envious because of the workers of iniquity, for they shall soon be cut off. I've been young, but now I'm old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. So what I've learned to do is just sit down. Because God got this. Yes, sir. God is a God of His word. I don't have to worry about what the rest of the day holds. I don't have to worry about what next week holds, because I serve a God. If He sit down, all right, why can't I sit down? All right. Third and finally, we often get out here, we eat some hen, baked chicken. Discuss miraculous powers. Verse number 5 says, but the angel said to the woman, do not be afraid. I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. It's amazing. What I liked in this text is that when the angel was there facing the guards, he never said a word to them. Wow. Y'all read that. When the angel was there facing the enemies of the Christ, he didn't say not one word. That tells me that some folks don't even need to say nothing to. Just right here in the text, it said when you read it, he never said anything to those soldiers. But when the children of God come out, then the angel speaks out. That tells you don't have to respond to all your haters. The angel gonna talk, but he don't talk to the haters. And that caused me to learn a few things. I don't have to learn some stuff ain't even worth me saying nothing about it. The angel, he talks to the woman who believed that Jesus is still in the tomb. Now watch this. The angels wanted to discuss God's ability to turn misery into history. The angel said, I ain't trying to talk to you, to the soldiers, but to you who believe, I'm telling you that God still can turn misery into history. All right. God says, I can turn misery into history because he said, you remember the Jesus who was crucified? Yeah. He said, don't be scared. He said, I rolled the stone back. I done gave you access to look in. Ain't no sense of being scared now. He said like Jones always say, I ain't never scared. He said, you done came this far. And now you see the tomb open up. Don't get scared now. He said, I've done for you what you couldn't do for yourself. He said, I know who you're looking for. You're looking for Jesus who was crucified. All I'm trying to say, you see, you got some people stuck on your words. I'm not making it up. It's right there in verse number 5. They came looking for the one who was crucified. I'm here to tell you, even in the 21st century, we still deal with people who always are looking at your words. They can't see where you're at because they're always concerned about your words. They can't see what God is doing in your life because they're always looking at your words. I ain't making this up. He said, the angel said they're looking for the one who was crucified. He was crucified. She was unemployed. He was out there. She was low-key trifling. He was divorced. He was depressed. He was a thug. He was losing his house. He was in trouble. He was no good. But I got to realize that God who can take misery and turn it into history. And you got to realize, you let people know you to be stuck on water. Because that's what they stuck on. God will shift you from your was to your is. Anybody can say, I know what I was, or what I is right now. Anybody can say, I know what I was. I know what I was. Right now, that's what I is. Ain't God all right? We got Jesus folks in here who got a was testimony. You can look back over your life and you see where God has walked you around. And God wants to be with you. Right as always. I was this, I was, but look at where I am. Verse 6 says, brother, you're looking for the angel in the wrong spot. He ain't here. You're looking for a living savior around dead folks. You got your coordination off. You got your grid off. He ain't here. You're looking for Jesus in the place of death. He ain't here. Resurrection. There's still on that word, resurrection. Basically, the root word is resurge. You do know what resurge is, right? Yes. Huh? It means for life to come back. All right. It means for activity to come back. All right. It means when everybody had wrote Tiger Woods off. And when they would show up to the tournament wearing his picture of him when he was of his mug shot. And they talked about him. A lot of folks wrote him off. He's done. He's over with. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, about a week ago, this time last week, yes, sir. He was putting on number 5. Yes, sir. 14 years later, everybody else stayed. he couldn't do it again. That's what you call a reserve. When everybody else have wrote you off, God has the ability to bring you back. You've got to realize people didn't bring you here and they can't take you nowhere. You got a job. You said, that's my job. So you got to always realize, I don't care how dark it get in your life, you have the potential to have a reserve. When he says, I've been resurrected, all he's saying is God has resurged him. The reason I come to church is living proof that God has reserved. Because as it was said, I should have been dead. Should have been sleeping in my grave. But God reserved me when I was written off, when I was talked about. God reserved me when they said he ain't going to make it. He can't do nothing. God said I can resurge him as well. He would give you your smile back. Anybody ever lost your smile? But you got your smile back. Anybody ever lost some of your joy? But you got your joy back. Anybody ever lost some of your ability to clap your hands? And now you don't mind clapping. That's called a research. Have you ever just wanted to catch it? That's called a research. Have you ever just wanted to take off running because you know God has been so good for you? That God has delivered you. God has kept you protected. Have you ever just walked up someone and you want to sing like a marching bird? That's called research. Don't you know it's just like God reserved Jesus? God said, I can reserve you no matter what situation you find yourself in. God says, I have the ability to reserve you. I'm going to cut this off. I remember just a few years ago. What's some years ago? The very shoes I have on now. I was at a national convention. Suit was looking good. As always. Dead shine. But when I looked at my feet, when I looked at my shoes, they didn't look as good. My shoes had stains on them. My shoes was dusty. My shoes was dirty. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have no shoe polish with me. I forgot how to spit shine because I like everything. But I kept walking and I seen an exposition hall. And in there was some men who, as soon as they saw me, they knew what my problem was. They said, sir, come over here and have a seat. Let me do for you what you failed to do for yourself. And so I went and I got in the chair, and as I was talking to a few other guys, a few minutes later they said, sir, you are done. I looked down at the shoes. I knew they had taken them off my feet. But the shoes didn't look the same. Now I asked him, I said, what did you do to my shoes? They got stains on them. They was dirty. What did you do? He said, well, the stains are still there. Some of the grime I couldn't get away, but I got some stuff I put on to cover up. Come on. Come on now. Come on now. I'll tell you. Come on now. Over 2,000 years ago. Come on now. Somebody died for me. Come on now. To cover up all of my stains. To cover up all of my sins. To cover up all of my unrighteousness. When I tell you, I know his name. His name is Jesus. Won't he make a way out of no way? Won't he do it for you? Won't he pick you up and turn you around? Won't he do for you what you can't do for yourself? Won't he do it because his blood reaches to the highest mountain and it flows to the lowest valley? Anybody know about the blood Did you rededicate your life?